Alright, well, it's 4:30 in the morning, and this is Tuesday, January 18th. And I'm sitting here at my computer, and I'm rereading this article dated January 13th that announced that Jordan was going to be reconstituted, Jordan High School. And I'm just still baffled by a lot of the comments that are being made in here, especially the quotes from our superintendent, Ray Cortines. It just blows my mind. Well, first of all, Jordan High School submitted a reform proposal, but Cortines wouldn't accept it, and the reason that he gives, at least that's quoted here in the LA Times, is that at times, he says, the proposal blamed students for their low performance. Huh? You know, there was a time when actually adolescent human beings were regarded as being responsible for their performance in things like school or household chores. I mean, it seems to me that's the wisdom of the ages. But nevertheless, let's see, he calls it a straw man, all right? He doesn't even say that the whole proposal was doing that. He just says, at times, it blamed the students for their performance. But then, earlier in the article, what does he say here? Okay, it says that what drew his attention was the fact that Jordan did not qualify for a key state academic rating last year because too few of the students took the standardized tests last year. I guess the student should be held responsible for that. That was the teacher's fault? So, yeah, Cortines says that misstep in particular drew his attention to Jordan. Whose misstep was that? All right? The teachers are responsible for that? What, were they supposed to have gone into the homes of these kids and dragged them out physically? Was that why they were to blame for that as well? It just doesn't make any sense. And this is particularly pertinent, really, because, you know, we're up for a special 2.5, as many people know who are going to be looking at this, the special school choice 2.5. And this is the glory of LA Unified school choice mandate, is that it puts the onus back on the teachers, okay? They don't want, they act as though, our board at least does, act as though they have all the solutions in their head, and they want us to conform to them. They want us to figure out what's going on in their head, but yet, once we do that, of course, our proposal and implementing our proposal is going to be up to us, and it's going to be our proposal. See, that way they don't have to take responsibility for this sort of thing. I find it all quite amazing. Another thing that's very interesting to note is that Cortines' solution here is to split up the school into threes and give one to the mayor's partnership, and two other divisions there are going to be given over to charters. There'll be Alliance and also Green Dot. Well, Green Dot doesn't have such a great record of raising CST scores, but the reason I think he wants to do that is that he knows he had a really hard time trying to staff Fremont High School when they restructured that one. In fact, they're still not fully staffed. And the people that they've got in classrooms right now, many of them are long-term subs, or they're a part of things like the Teach for America program. People from Teach for America, really what they're all about is, getting rid of their student debt. And then once, because they get credit, they get some of their debt relieved if they serve in difficult-to-place schools. Why are they difficult to place? Gee, could it be that South Central Los Angeles is a difficult place to teach? And for factors that are completely outside of the teacher's control. Absolutely outside of the deal. We're reaching the point where we might as well start blaming teachers for the weather, where things that, all kinds of social conditions get in the way of instruction or get in the way of the learning process. And these things are outside of the teacher's control completely. And to hold them accountable somehow or other, or to blame them for it, is just, it's a travesty. And what's going to happen eventually if we continue with this madness is that you'll see a flight of teachers out of urban districts, okay, out of where difficult to place places, because who wants to be, blamed for things that are outside of your control? Nobody wants to do that. There'll be, anybody who goes into the teaching profession, if it's still a profession, they'll be seeking jobs in places that where the students are going to perform academically. They'll perform, and then the teacher will be praised as a good teacher. Who needs this? Nobody.